Hello, hi, it's me, and shit. What's going on? Uh, I'm gonna make this fast. We're going over the Veiled Threat. Um, this is one of my favorite editions just because they're getting kind of crazy with the gun design. It's really nice. It's real big, which is weird, but I'd rather them keep doing weird so we come across with this sexy motherfucker as opposed to the same old over and over again, which isn't that big a deal to me. But if they're gonna put more man hours into the designs of the guns, then I want more of this experimental shit. Regardless, Veil Threat, as a stasis weapon, is rapid fire frame auto rifle. Um, um, this is without the third and fourth column perks increasing the stats. Um, its range band is in between 22 and 29 meters, which is pretty par for the course, to be honest. Stability in between, bottom is 50, top is 87. Handling, the base is 42, the top would be 67. Reload speed is at base is 1.83 seconds. Um, if you include the intrinsic frame and max reload speed of 74, then you can get it down to 1.14 seconds. Aim assist can go from 72 to 87, and the AE can go from 20 to 45, while the recoil direction at base is 45, but with the right stuff, you can go to about 90. I don't believe you can actually get to 100 on this gun. Now that we got the boring stat part out of the way, or the by itself stats, we can see a comparison between other guns of the same ilk uh, from previous seasons and from different places. So Chroma Rush would be the what's the word I'm looking for here? The seasonal weapon equivalent. So both of them came from a seasonal activity. Crate is a world drop, and Rufus's Fury is a raid drop. As you can see, Velthra is actually behind in like everything against all of them other than Crate. And then, yeah, it's better than Crate, but Crate also is beating it in stats that matter for PvE, um, magazine and aim assistance. I know people are like, oh my god, aim assist. Listen, you want to land crits with these guns because when you hit crits, you kill the thing faster. So that aim assist will help pull it to the crit. Regardless, is at best you could say mid, but realistically, if you have a good crate and the only reason you're getting this gun is for archetype and flavor, just keep your crate. Um, but if you don't have a crate, this is a really good option because it is craftable. So, perk roll combinations. You can see the perks here, the traits here. Um, at base game, yeah, yeah, at base game, I would try something like strategist and a, a headstone. Yeah, strategist and headstone. Strategist to farm your class ability and headstone because it's cool. Honestly, it's cool. AOE splash, yada yada. And it's easy to get kills at base game. So if it's a for fun gun, get a for fun roll, right? But if you were attempting to use this in more of an in-game scenario, which to me just means like a nightfall, it's like a nightfall of anything where you no longer have matchmaking, so like heroic stuff. Um, then attrition orbs or shoot to loot. It's really up to you. And desperate measures. um, Quentin why these options, right? Um, for attrition orbs, because you shoot so much with the gun anyway, just creating orbs for free is nice, and then you can use that to help support your build. Shoot the loot is a good shout outside of that, because you can make orbs pretty easily by just putting something on your helmet, and the origin trait interacts very well with shoot the loot because the origin trait makes a pool of damage. Basically, it's like a little Wither Horde pool. If you know what Wither Horde is, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, it's literally just a circle that's on the floor. It's a little white circle that's on the floor that does damage. Um, that does count as gun damage, so it activates gun perks and works with gun traits. It's considered just it's basically just a bullet. The way that we can kind of see it is basically a bullet. So if you kill an enemy and they are in or nearby a orb of power or ammo, then it'll pick it up, which is nice. Um, yeah, those would be like the trait combinations that I would go for. Um, and then I also wanted to quickly show my favorite thing here from Moxie Max. That's the man's on Twitter that knows the things and the stuffs much more smarter than me. But basically, you can see that it's archetype rapid fire frame. Blue one is the one that I prefer because if you're going to be using a weapon in PvE, then you're going to want to get as close to 100 reload and as close to a 0.8% reload scaler, period, anyway. So this would be the ideal situation. So we are somewhere around 419 DPS, which is just a number to show its relevance to everybody else here because of how he gets these numbers. The point to note here is just that it is above all scout rifles outside of rapid fires, right? Which is interesting. Now that I think about it, but not that big a deal. And is generally close to adaptive hand cannons as far as minor DPS is concerned. So on the lower scale, I think all auto rifles are, but their range helped them still feel solid, right? Um, so it's not in a terrible place as far as minor damage is concerned. It could be a lot worse. It could be fucking aggressive frame scout rifles or submachine guns as a whole. I think both of those, both auto rifles and submachine guns need like a 15-ish% damage buff. But regardless, not bad. And it versus minors, what 355 compared to the 400s here for all the hand cannons. Um, and a bit better than the pulse rifles. The reason why I'm referencing hand cannons and pulse rifles here is because they're kind of the meta right now, and that's what you're competing with. If you're using a legendary primary, you are competing with hand cannons and pulse rifles for both add clear and backup damage on yellow bars. Um, and if you can't compete with that, then it's not really worth your time. And as you can see, it's actually better than pulse rifles versus those yellow bars, but it does struggle um, versus hand cannons in comparison. So my final thoughts on this. Hold on, wait, wrong thing. This? Haha, I'm smart. So my final thoughts on this gun. It's like above average. Above average mainly because it's craftable with a unique enough um, origin trait to make you think about it. But if you already have a God Roll crate, I wouldn't even worry about it. I expect auto rifles to get an adjustment eventually, just because their damage is just really low, and if they expect us to use this in game, then it's just not gonna go well. Although maybe they really don't think we're supposed to use it, so they might not buff it. But this is the type of gun that I would hang on to for that obvious hoarder mentality. So I don't know, three, 3.5. Not too crazy, not something I would lose my mind over. I think the most interesting thing about this gun is honestly its aesthetic. So yeah, later.